Hello, thanks for inviting me to present DigiFed, what we are doing in DigiFed, and really in this context of the Smart Anything Everywhere and different tools to support SME innovation routes. So today I will not speak about the application experiment, but more about two new services we are trialing inside DigiFed. So DigiFed, very briefly, is part of the SAE. We are focused on cyber physical system and embedded systems. So we started with the COVID in 2020, January. We have a budget of 8 million euro, and half of it is direct cascade funding toward the SMEs, and more than 1 million of our resource is also dedicated to direct technical support or innovation support to these SMEs. We are 12 partners, and really like a DIH, we have partners more from the innovation support to innovation management support to the SMEs. We have some technical partners, both from research organization, university, and industry. So we are kind of all the representation of stakeholders from DIH inside the project. We are also inside our existing digital innovation hubs. We have some candidates for the coming calls of EDIH, and you can see it here. We have more than 4 candidates to this new open call that has been already validated by their own countries. So we have 3 innovation pathways. I will not go on the application experiment, which is, I would say, more classical and totally inspired from all the previous projects from SAE. We had 3 open calls, and we have the budget to finance more than 45 projects in this application experiment. But today I will speak more about what we call digital challenge and generic experiment community, and its new experimental pathways and services that we propose to SMEs, and that could be in a sustainable way model exploited by the coming new EDIH. So just to let you know, the 3 open calls of the IE are now closed. At the first call, we supported 14 projects and 22 companies for 1 million euro. The second open call, we selected a bit more because we put a bit more budget on this one, 1.3 million, and we selected 16 projects. And the third open call closed yesterday, and we received 70 proposals, and we are starting the evaluation process. Now, generic experiment communities. So this is quite a new way of collaboration that we want to test. And the idea is really to build a community focused on the technical topics. This technical topics is proposed by one of the technology partners, so what we call the GE owner, which is a university or a research technology partner. And we are also testing a co-financing by the regional program or regional authorities of the generic experiment owner. So our philosophy, our idea is to involve a group of cross-border SME startups of mid-caps in order that they would be able to share their common specification on the topic, on the selected topics. And the idea is really to help to improve or foster the interaction between research organization and SMEs to enable to collect the needs of this SME to define the roadmaps of this research and technology organization. Because it's quite difficult for people like us to know what are expected as in terms of new technology, new subject by SMEs. So really the idea is to foster the loop and the interaction between research organization and SMEs, and of course to foster the transfer of the technology toward SMEs at the end. The The selected companies to participate to the generic experiment will receive €5 and it's really to support them to contribute to meetings. They will not do any technical job. The idea is really to share information, participate to meetings and co-conception meetings. And at the end of this, we will assess the generic experiment community as a new service that could be proposed by DIH in the future. So we define 4 generic digital DigiFed generic experiment communities. The first one is led by Leti and ST, and it's based in Grenoble with the Région Rhône-Alpes financial support. And the idea is to develop a secure gateway for IoT. So and to see how the monitoring of the security attacks of the system can be interesting for the SME and what are their constraints to integrate this. The open call is closed. We have recruited 20 members. We have another one about cybersecurity, which is proposed by Ikerlan and the Basque, supported by the Basque region, and it's more a trust platform for the smart contract, so addressing Industry 4.0. The open call is still open and running until 3rd of June, so anyone who is interested can go on our website to join. University of Ljubljana has launched an open a community about IoT prototyping for agriculture, and the call is now closed. And their model is to make a common a common prototype that could be tested by different companies. The call is closed, and they recruited 14 members a few days ago. And then the last one is led by BME. In Hungary, and it's around energy efficient lighting design and test, and the call is open until the 15th of June. Just to explain a bit more concretely what is a generic experiment community, I take the example of the one we are leading. So the service which is proposed to the 20 members is that they are going to share the security requirement from all their different industrial sectors. They will have direct access to our experts, both from Leti and ST, to understand, because the core technology is about STM32 MP1 processor. And so they will have access to experts to know how they can use it, how they can integrate it. And they can share also, of course, we will develop these new functionalities, and they will be able to test it. We launched the community with these 20 members last week. It was a remote meeting, while we expected this kind of community to make physical meeting. That's live. This, you see, we are covering quite widely all the Europe with these partners. And of course, we have some regional SMEs, which was mandatory to be supported by the budget of the region. Just to show you, in our community, we see that it's a great interest for small SMEs and startups. And I think it's maybe because these companies are really looking and missing the contact with experts like people from CEA and ST to start about this cybersecurity and problems. And also you can see that it's really interesting. We cover mostly all the sectors touched by digital. So that's really interesting for us. Of course, we have a contract to support us, and we had a lot of questions. It is very easy to join here because there is no, in the contract, we don't have any IP rules, because only CA is and ST are developing. So all the IP is generated by CEA-Leti. We don't need to share IP between the companies and between us, or between companies. So it's only confidentiality, which is leaded. We have a multi-party NDA to be able to share information. And if someone wants to exploit, after the generic experiment wants to exploit this new secured gateway we have been developing, then we will do a B2B agreement including all the IP access right. So that's why it's quite soft and easy to run such an agreement. Then we are making the generic experiment animation. We have a experimented team for that, doing co-conception workshop, and we will have a monthly live chat and 3 big workshops. Hopefully one will be in physical. Okay, so I hope you understand what we are trying to do for the generic experiment. And if some DIH present here wants to share about this new service, I'm really open and interested to share with you. Digital challenge. Now, digital challenge is a bit different because here we want to build a value chain. And the idea, it's also co-financed by a digital challenge owner, but this time it's not by regional authority, by an industrial. So the digital challenge owner, which is a big group, corporate business, they bring a technical challenge, and we, as DigiFed, will organize an open call to find an SME that is able to raise this challenge, to address this challenge. The interest for the digital challenge owner is really that we are, with our network of DigiFed, but also all the SIO network, we can touch companies all over Europe, while usually the people know more companies in their countries. So this is really the idea. And the interest for the companies who are going to raise the challenge is it's it's a first access to market through the digital challenge owner. So they will develop a product that will already have a first market. So it should really accelerate the access to market for the SMEs selected. As it's co-financed, this project will receive 50 kilo euro by the digital challenge owner, 50 kilo euro by DigiFed. So we already launched successfully one challenge with a generic GE France. GE is entering the industry 4.0 and was looking for solution to build an IoT system of systems. And this is not their own competency. So they are going to work with the selected company. The open call is now closed. This French company, CEA-Leti, was selected together with it's kind of a co-development with another startup called Aquila, and it was kicked off yesterday. So now we are going to follow how this story is going to happen, and if really we can foster the adoption of this technology for CEA-Leti. We are opening today, and that's I'm really happy to present it to you today then, a new open call. It's Acciona from Spain, again a big energy provider, and they are looking for next generation of conductivity sensor for predictive operation in water treatment. So again, it will be 100 kilo euros supporting for the selected company. The solution should provide a wireless sensor to measure and report the conductivity of the treatment of the solution, and also they need the backend application with data storage and also a user interface and visualization of the data. So the open call is will be published at 2 o'clock today. All the information will be on the website. We are organizing webinars with Acciona, with the digital challenge owner, and it's a two-step proposal. So the first step proposal will be the 16th of July, and then for the selected company, they will have to make a more complete proposal for the 14th of September. So we will publish this also on the SIE website. The second one, which should be maybe open tomorrow, is EDF, and it's really interesting. It's mostly this big energy company who had contacted us for this open digital challenge open calls. So now it's EDF Hydro as well, again in the water side, and they are looking for a drone that could guarantee visual inspection in a confined environments globally inside a turbine. All the code is described again, will be described again on the website. You have here the link, and the same. We will have some webinars, and we will have some. It's a two-step proposal. So, as conclusion of my talk, I wanted to emphasize this new service we are trialing inside DigiFed. In 21-22, we will run the 4 generic experiment communities and the 3 digital challenges. In 22, at the next year, we will assess this new service and try to really get feedback for all the stakeholders and establish best practice for such service. What are the interests? What are the costs? How we should organize? What are the tools? And for this, I'm really, all the team, we are really interested to run discussions with DIH and EDI and future EDIH to see with them whether this service can be interesting for them or not. Or maybe they have already something similar in their DIH. So if you're interested, really, please contact me or the info@digifed.org. And just as a summary, we have different open calls still running. The generic experiment with Ikerlan and BME are still open until mid-June or end of June. And the digital challenge are